It is that time of BPL22. It's finals day. The final 2 rounds are about to commence, and it is always dramatic. This is Ringside Live, BPL22, round 21, the final 2 home and away rounds before we get to tonight's finals, and we are absolutely pumped. It's Ospreys v Tridents first. The Tridents, well, they can't make it, but they can certainly shape it. The Ospreys had a win last night, looking to keep their title chances alive. They're in the 5 currently. How will that sound throughout the rest of the day? We don't quite know as of yet. Mal Ferbo alongside Matt Lucas and Connor Munnings once again, as they have been all week. Gentlemen, this is what we love about this competition. 2 rounds to decide the makeup of the 5, and pretty much there's 10 teams that can be in the 5 by the end of it. Yeah,
it's a close ladder, one of the closest I've seen in recent memories, and like anyone can make it, apart from probably the bottom 2 there. Yep. But we never know, and to try and say have a chance to maybe end Tweed's chances of making the finals as well.
Well, a loss could mean you're out of the tournament, Matt Lucas, and the way that we've seen a lot of these teams go, you know, even the Moama Steamers aren't quite safe at the moment.
Yeah. Well, good morning, starters, and it's destiny's in your own hands here. A lot of these teams need a result to go their way and things like that, but you can't be thinking about other games. It's all about do what's in front of you as best you can, and if you get a couple of wins and things fall your way, take it. All
right, well, let's go through the ladder at the moment. Perth Suns, I'm not sure where this has come from, but they sit on top of the table. 12 wins, 8 losses, net sets +7. And I believe I've had a couple of people message me and say that has guaranteed them a spot in the finals.
Okay.
I believe that even with 2 straight sets losses, I think with the matches that are going on, I don't think that they can miss. The Sydney Lions, they're in second, 12 and 8, +4 net sets. They're still in a bit of danger. The Steamers are the same, 12 and 8. I think they've lost 3 on the trot, the Steamers. They were 12 and 5, and things are starting to look a little bit murky for them. The Pulse, 11 and 9 after beating the Melbourne Extreme last night. Not sure where this has come from. The Melbourne Pulse did not look like they were any sort of a chance halfway through this competition, but they're peaking at the right time. Then we have the Ospreys in 5th on 10 and 10. If they make it to finals night tonight, they are going to be the most dangerous team in the competition, that's for sure. They love playing on that rink. They've won it here 4 times before. Then the chasing pack, the Moreton Bay Pirates, +2 net sets on 10 and 10. The Melbourne Extreme, well, it's turned from dream to disaster for them. 4 tie-break losses in a row. Gary Kelly killed an end last night in the tie-break. The Extreme were in the most commanding of positions, and then it all went to the proverbial. Then the Jets, 10 and 10. The Hawks, 9 and 11, and the Pioneers, 9 and 11. So the Hawks and Pioneers, they're not completely out of it, but they need a lot of things to go their way. But they're 1 win out of the 5, so they win both matches. They give themselves a chance of getting in. The Hawks did it last time out. They were out of the 5 at the start of the day, and they moved in and won the whole thing. Then the Saints, 8 and 12, Tridents on 7 and 13. So they're not going to make it, but they can certainly be ladder shapers. But that's the lay of the land. We'll bring you the live ladders, all the permutations and ramifications across the day here on Ringside Live. There's plenty to get excited about. But the teams for this contest, the Tweed Ospreys, we have got Chloe Stewart, Aaron Tees and Corey Wedlock with their coach Wayne Turley. Look at them, they all look very determined and steely, even though those photos were taken on Monday. You get a little bit more weary throughout the week.
A bit more jaded.
A little bit more tired, the bags under the eyes. And we'll go over to the Tasmania Tridents, who, it just hasn't quite gone their way this time around. But Dylan Fisher, I'm sure, will be better for the run come Moama. And Taylor Mail, Beck Van Ash, Dylan Fisher with coach Chris Dudman. Hasn't been the tournament that they would have wanted, the Tridents, but they will be determined to change things up at Moama come February. But what are we thinking, gentlemen? The Tridents were excellent here yesterday against the Pioneers.
I was just about to say they played really well on this rink and got the Pioneers. So I still think these events don't come around all that often, although we do have one in February again. But it's all about just taking your chances. I mean, these are still opportunities to play against some of the best players in the world. You know, got to still be putting your best foot forward and putting in, you know, and showing your resolve. And when things are sort of not going your way, it's about how you react and what your character's like in those sort of situations as well. You might be ticking boxes that you don't know you're ticking.
Exactly right. So I was talking to Dylan Fisher before, and he said that the aim of the day was to cause chaos.
Yeah, it's the right attitude to have, really.
They're playing with a bit more freedom from what I saw yesterday compared to early rounds as well. And they know they can't make finals, and I think they're just having a bit more fun, just playing a bit more freely. So it's really working for them.
Yeah, and you're right. Sometimes when you are out of the competition, you start playing a little bit more free because, well, the pressure's off, really. You got nothing to lose. So players about to sit down. The other matches that are taking place this morning, we'll go through those as well because they are going to have huge ramifications on the rest of the competition. The Pulse and the Steamers, well, that's huge. Huge is an understatement. Then you got the Saints and the Hawks. All of these are live rubbers at the moment. The Extreme and the Pirates, the Suns and the Lions, the Jets and the Pioneers, and the... I think that's all we've got. Yes, I was going into the next round as well because it was all there. But they're the other matches that we've got going on the TV rink, the Jets and Pioneers. So that's huge for Adelaide. We've got them and the Steamers next. So a top 2 spot will be on the line for Moama.
Well, I think the Extreme Moreton Bay game's a huge one because you'd say nearly the loser out of that's done.
Loser's cooked, yep. That's an elimination final. And I almost can't believe the Melbourne Extreme find themselves in that position. After yesterday, they were sitting in 10 and 6. 4 tiebreak losses in a row. That genuinely hurts, doesn't it?
It does. And they've had a lot of tiebreakers this tournament. They had one that morning as well, which they won on the last bowl heroic by Jack McShane, so it could have nearly been 5 in a row.
Set for a cracking day's play with final positions on the ladder, all up for grabs. The Perth Suns top the table with Sydney Lions and Moama Steamers hot on their heels on the same number of wins. Melbourne Pulse sit in 4th, 1 win adrift from the lead pack. And the Tweed Ospreys are currently holding on to 5th spot, but have the Pirates, Extreme and Jets breathing down their neck on the same number of wins. We're in for some cracking final preliminary round games, and we've got round 21 coming up now. And on rink 1, Tweed Ospreys versus Tasmania Tridents. On rink 2, the Melbourne Pulse versus the Moama Steamers. Rink 3 sees the Sydney Saints take on the Gold Coast Hawks. On rink 4, Melbourne Extreme and the Moreton Bay Pirates do battle. Rink 5 sees the Perth Suns versus the Sydney Lions, and on our TV rink, the Geelong Jets up against the Adelaide Pioneers. Good luck to old bowlers. You may commence your games.
All right, we're underway. It's Beck Van Ash leading for Taylor Mail, and Aaron Tees leading for Corey Wedlock. They've made the switch of Tweed, and we'll keep you updated. And I was talking to Ellen Fife as well. The matches that the Melbourne Pulse have on the agenda today, they're playing the Steamers and the Lions. If they win both of those matches, they will be top 2. And I'm genuinely not sure where that's come from. No disrespect to them, but they're in the doldrums.
Well, even their net sets there, -2.
Well, exactly. They're minus 21 on shots, and they're the only team inside the top 7 with a negative shot differential. And they're the only team inside the top 9 with a negative sets differential. So that's just what happens when you win your tie breaks, really. And you even look at Tasmania, they're minus 17 on shots, and they've only won 7 games. They're minus 2 on net sets, so that shows they've lost a lot of tie breaks.
Yes.
So this team is going to be tough to beat. They have been, as we said, excellent against the Pioneers yesterday.
Tweed Ospreys made a change to Corey Wedlock up to skipping. And we saw on the TV rink last night, our Corey Wedlock had an absolute blinder.
A blinder is an understatement. Absolute understatement. So much to get excited about. For today's contest, we all know that things can just go awry so quickly.
Sorry, go on.
Handy stuff for the Tridents. 3 shots in the crossover to Beck Van Ash.
Yeah, it'll just take an end or two before the players really sort of find out what the rink's doing. We have had some really sort of different conditions almost every day, sometimes during the day changing like dramatically. So we've had 38 degree heat, we've had pouring rain, we've had, you know, a bit of wind, and then we've had, you know, today's a really sticky, muggy kind of day. You know, and this surface, all these carpet surfaces have got generally a bit of a rubber underlay to them, and just the way it affects the surface makes the bowls do sort of different things, strange things. So it just takes a little bit of time to adjust to that. And it's quite easy to fall into the trap of thinking, well, that was the line yesterday, I'll just poke it down there again, but every chance it's changed. Taylor just turning that one over. Looks like it's in for third shot. Still one to the Tridents. Corey trying to land the bowl or trail the jack. He had almost flat draw weight. Beck just moving the furniture a little bit there. Kalen played a great shot there. Oh, it's position A1 really. Corey hasn't got much other than perhaps something on the backhand they're starting to look at. I think this is either flat draw or go a little bit harder. Saw Teasy sort of swinging his arm down there, so they might be playing a bit more force at this. Yeah, trying to get that jack really moving. Doesn't want it to bounce and splash and stick around. Just misses high, and the Tridents draw first blood.
They do. 1-0 after 1. Plenty to get excited about for today. There's so many results that could sway this tournament. We believe that Perth are the only team that cannot miss. Wait and double check that at the end of the match, but Aaron Delaporte generally very much on the money. And he's gone through and done all the ramifications and permutations and scenarios. I don't think he slept. But it'd be amazing for Perth. Last time they played finals was at BPL 21. Oh, sorry, not 21, BPL 12.
12. It's got the numbers mixed up.
Numbers mixed up. It was 2021. So, have a guess how many days you just looked.
Sorry.
I was going to say, have a guess how many days that is since February 26, 2021. That was the last time that the Perth Suns played finals. 1,708 days they've had to wait for another finals berth at the BPL. It's been a long time coming.
Still less than Essen.
Well, no, you've made it.
You made it.
You made it
You've
in
not won a
2021.
final.
You just didn't win a final.
Just didn't win it.
Yeah.
Remember that you played the Dogs in Launceston in 2021?
Oh, that's right.
back in those weird days where everything was at a neutral venue. Every other team, every other franchise, past or present, has won a BPL final. And that is a very nice delivery from Beck Van Ash.
I'm going to see some weight from Teasy. He's got 2 away. And his own. One of his own.
But yeah, so all the other franchises, as I said, past or present, have won a final. Perth, the only team, and they're a foundation team at this competition, have not won a final. So could tonight be the night where that changes?
Who was in the foundation team for
the Perth Suns?
The Suns.
So I think was Turles the coach. He was the foundation coach.
I think I know one of the players.
Clive Adams, Jeremy Henry, and Brett Wilkie.
Brett Wilkie, that's the one. Yep.
2013. Club Pine Rivers actually posted the promotional shots of that first BPL yesterday.
Oh.
And then they made the finals in that first event. It was a close one too, I believe, against, was it the Brisbane Gold back then? The Brisbane Gold.
Alex Murtagh.
I don't know if he played in that one.
Didn't he?
No, I think it was Robbie Wild. Kelvin Kirko.
Case.
Maybe
Mark Casey?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'll get this up for you.
Yep.
I actually have it right here.
Get up. Good, Mark, good. Bad little change up from Corey.
Yep.
Sets up a pretty good angle.
Kirko, Casey, and Wild, the first winners. And Murtagh, the coach.
Oh, there you go. He definitely played, though, didn't he, Alex?
I believe so, yes. I think he played one event, maybe.
I remember as a junior, Alex Murtagh was potentially one of the best juniors I ever came across. Oh, and that's a ripping bowl. Gets a toucher right on the front of it. One on the spot. It's either that or a little baby shot, but I think they'll take the swing out of the bowl and go straight at it.
Oh. Shaved it.
Got second shot out of that.
Beck with a wry smile. So one more to Tassie. 2-0 is the score. That's after 2 ends.
Yeah.
Good start for Tassie here. As we know it in the BPL, anything can change pretty quickly. No power play. Wayne Turley holding off.
I think when you look back at those early BPLs, I think the one storyline and narrative that comes to mind that almost breaks your heart a little bit is that of the Adelaide Endurance. 3 grand finals in a row and no cigar.
Yeah.
The Gold, the Steamers and the Blackjacks and Ali Forsyth, I think, really drove the nail into the coffin with that drive into the ditch with the last bowl.
Got a question for you, Val. How many inaugural players in the BPL or APL back then are still part of the BPL in the 22nd edition?
How many? I'll have a look. I think there's 6 from memory.
I was going to say, how many 300 games milestones have we done this week?
A lot.
Yeah. They'd all just about be foundation players. A good shot going in there from Arantes. Diving in for second shot, and wasn't all that happy about the one that went past, but looks pretty good at the moment.
So only 5 players left, and it was 4 until the last event. Dylan Fisher coming back into the fray from BPL 1 through to BPL 22.
Well, that ball just negotiating its way through the head without getting the jack. Probably better off for the Sprays that it stays where it is at the moment.
And one final thing on APL 1 before we sort of move on. That Sydney Lions original team of Aaron Sheriff, Karen Murphy and Steve Glasson, they came last. How does that work? With Gary Willis as the coach.
Oh, that's your answer.
Oh. All right, well, shots have
fired.
been fired, and a shot has been fired from Corey Wedlock. That'll do. Just going to try and get this scoreboard sorted again. Not sure why that's not updating.
That was, of course, tongue-in-cheek. Shout out to Gaz. Bowls Australia coach. Oh, and what's Taylor done? Asked it to hold. I think he's got second shot with it. Yep. Yeah, decision time. Probably looks easier to just get the bowls than trying to roll it once or twice, but this man, I said it's like driving a Ferrari when you're playing with Omar. This guy's a Lamborghini.
What do you prefer?
Oh, Omar gets more cranky at me. So I'll go with a Lambo.
That's 1 to the Ospreys. You are firing shots left, right and centre this morning. And a no power play called by Chris Studman. So 2-1 after 3. Double power play expected on the last end. So Matt Lucas has fired shots at Aaron Sheriff, Gary Willis. Who else by the end of the day?
Oh, I'm taking them all down.
Woke up in a mood.
The last day of the tournament, ready to rumble. So 2 shots to 1, 3 ends played. So I think a win today for any team is priceless. But I think a straight sets win for a couple of teams will be kind of like digging a hole in the Middle Eastern desert and finding oil.
Yeah.
Because those net sets are just everything, aren't they?
Yeah, we see in a lot of BPLs, it always comes down to net sets and sometimes shots as well.
Yeah, well, it came down to net sets in Moama where the Lions and the Extreme both missed out despite having a 12 and 10 ledger.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a genuine possibility that the Lions and Extreme could miss again despite having positive ledgers. You know, 2 BPLs in a row to win more than you lose. That could be almost disastrous. The Extreme currently leading 7-0 after 3 over the Pirates in the first set. The Hawks leading the Jets, leading the Saints 6 shots to 4. That's after 3. The Pulse and the Steamers 4-1 after 3. Bring you what's happening on the TV rink as well. And it is the Jets 6-4 after 3 over the Pioneers. The Suns 2-0 after 2 over the Lions. So that is a huge game, is it not?
Yeah, the Suns and Lions.
I think they're top. Well, that's first versus second.
Yeah, it's nearly spot for top position.
Winner of that, I believe, especially if the Suns win, they will be playing in the qualifying final tonight, which is incredible. Storming up the ladder. Reminiscent of maybe the Adelaide Crows in the AFL, coming from nowhere. But I won't put that moz on them because we all know what happened to Adelaide.
Similar to Gold Coast Suns as well, winning a final.
Yes, yep. It could be that Aaron Delaporte did say it was the year of the Sun.
Didn't West Coast Eagles go from 15th to winning it?
No, they were pretty close. Richmond, I think, holds the record.
When they beat Collingwood?
Nah, they made the finals the year before. There was that Luke Shuey goal after the siren against Port.
Okay, yeah.
Richmond went from 13th to winning it, from 16 to 17.
Wow.
He's done nicely there.
Yeah, it's a great shot for still being 2 down.
Yeah, Beck reckons 2, 100%. Good to have Joe Franzi watching on. He was my saviour last night, that's for sure. I had to pad while we were trying to wait for Country Road to commence. And it was the longest 90 seconds of you and my life combined, Connor.
Worked out in the end.
Yep. Got everybody singing along. Hopefully the crowd's loud. If you're in the area, make sure you get down. Matty Lucas has the guitar ready to go. He's going to start trick-or-treating.
I'm struggling to commentate. I don't think I'll be singing today.
Kill nominated by the Ospreys.
Any part of this outside bowl and it'll kill.
Just missing. So an opportunity for Taylor Mail to try and, if he can spill, and that's what Beck is talking about, if he can spill onto that bowl on his backhand, could possibly make 3 with an end to go. So it'd be some sort of a shot.
If he gets the right wriggle after he gets it too, he might even drop in himself for a count of 4.
He's taken a safer line there, which you definitely don't mind if you're Beck Van Ash in the leader's position. But it's 2 to the Tridents. They've won 3 of the 4 ends. They lead at 4 shots to 1. Double power play called from both teams, so double shots on offer to close out this set. The Ospreys need to score a 2 to win the set. Tridents just need to defend that because the 2 will double to 4. Melbourne Extreme leads 7-0 over the Pirates after 3. The Hawks, they have made a big move, 10-4 after 4 against the Saints. And that's with no power plays left. So that set pretty much done and dusted.
They went 4 zip down.
Yep.
4 zip down, hit their power play, 3, went to 6, and then they've obviously scored a 4 as well.
Quite incredible.
And I'm not entirely sure, but I think Kelsey Cottrell had played. Maybe one bowl of the second or third end, and said, "No, get me off." And Lurch was giggling, went straight on, and next minute they score of the power play.
But it's where dropping the egos is just so vital.
Yeah.
If you're not playing well, make sure you just get those 4 ends in, or come off, get your team a foothold back, and then you come on, play your next couple of ends if you need to at some stage. Nathan Black's played a bomb on the far end against the Perth Suns. It's a Lions power play. So we will continue to update you with the results from the other rinks. Sometimes we may deviate from conversation on what's happening here. This is a very important end for the Tweed Ospreys, and it's an important bowl from Aaron Tees. Really tight match. The Tridents have really enjoyed playing on this rink. And up next, we've got the Pioneers and the Steamers, as the Steamers vie for a top 2 position. If they win this, they'll be in the top 2 going into the last round. because the Lions and Suns obviously playing each other. They're playing the Pulse, who are also walking a dangerous tightrope. That is quite lovely from Aaron Tees.
Corey Lock going for cover, he's going for the spot. Saw Taylor Mail playing with some weight that cleared his 2 bowls. Fortunately, got a lot of the Tridents bowls out. Back to the draw for Taylor. Currently, Tweed Ospreys holding the set. A 2 at the moment, which would double to 4. Kill nominated for Tridents. Oh, what a bowl from Taylor Mail.
Incredible. That is huge from Taylor.
So not that it matters too much for the Tassie Tridents, but they'll lose their power play now. Tweed Heads will keep their power play for this end, so they've still only got to score the 2, get themselves to 5, win the set.
So, yep, that's exactly right, Matty. Replay this final end. And I actually don't mind this because it gives us time with this extra end. Pushes behind all the other matches. So we can actually sort of see what's going on in the lay of the land. So well done to Taylor Mail. Another killed end would be very nice. Thinking purely selfishly, of course. So no power play in the end for the Tridents. They lose that, but it doesn't really matter too much to them because they're holding a 3. They just need to defend a 3-shot lead. They just need to defend a 2. BPL Cup final coming up at 1 o'clock today on Fox, KO and Sky Sports NZ. So that's very exciting as well. 2 teams in the final there. We have got St. John's Park and Bowen. Joey Clark involved in that as well. Apologies, I didn't read the article properly. That was Paradise Point they play. They beat Bowen in the semi-final. It's been a long week, gentlemen.
Taylor just looking to add here on the backhand, beat those 2 bowls of Aaron T's about 11 o'clock. Almost a bit of nuisance value, but it probably gives Corey a bit of a guide, if anything. The full hand, he wants to be dying underneath that.
Oh, that's not the result that Corey Wedlock was after. Taylor Mail has been mighty so far this morning. Really enjoyable to watch.
He's played that one pretty well as well. Sort of looking for any one of those options of landing a bowl or getting just past. Corey hated this. Turns out okay. Taylor calling a timeout. He was going to run back to the mat, but then went, oh, it's too warm.
Yeah, no, and there's just no sort of circulation of anything. Today was the day we're probably screaming out for a little bit more of a breeze. Not too windy like Monday. We've had a bit of everything this week, though. The humidity up here at this time of the year can be quite oppressive. BPL 18 a couple of years ago, it was above 90% for the last 3 days of the tournament. I went down 3 waist sizes by the end of it. It's all skin and bone. I wish.
Alright, what's Corey planning here? Probably going for that little 1.5 trail on the forehand. Can use his own bowl if he's a fraction wide.
Corey Wedlock.
Asking it to hurry. He's turning underneath the front.
And he's knocked it in to make sure of it for the Tridents, who don't get their power play, but they win the first set 6-1. Dylan Fisher makes his way onto the rink. So does Chloe Stewart. The substitutions, well, this could spell mighty danger for the Tweed Ospreys, who are sitting in the 5 currently. It's happened before to them on the last day at the hands of the Tridents, funnily enough. Rob McMullen at BPL19 completely ended their tournament with 2 bombs, one in the second set to send it to a tiebreak, the last bowl, and then one in the last bowl of the tiebreak to knock Tweed out and put Tasmania into the finals. Are they going to be the party pooper once again? Other set results. Matthew Lucas. The Steamers have won the first over the Pulse, 5-2. The Hawks have won the first over the Saints, 11-4. The Melbourne Extreme are very, very close to winning the first set against the Pirates. A killed end was, or did happen. The Pirates were down a fair way and on the extreme power play, or they're down by 3 and had to kill the end, so replaying it now. The Suns, 5-2 down with an end to play against the Sydney Lions, have won it 6-5. So Christina Van Nierop, her first sets as a skip have been absolutely mega.
Colossal.
I actually want to go through and see what... Yeah, the Perth Suns, number 1 ranked team in first sets, 13.5 out of 20. Their second set results, 10 out of 20. And that's 6th.
I reckon that's probably why they're on top of the ladder.
I think so. And I tell you what,
Start
she
from
will
Chloe.
be... Yep, very nice.
Yeah, I heard a big roar go up over there on rink 5, is it?
Yep.
Rink 6.
And then on the TV rink for the Geelong Jets, haven't they sent a message? 10-0 over the Pioneers. In the opening set, the Pioneers leading 2-0 in the second. That's after the first end. So Adelaide looking to try and beat the Jets to keep their tournament alive. Whether it'll happen or not, we're not sure. A loss means that they're cooked. But the Perth Suns, what an unlikely story it seems like it's been, that no one really gave them too much of a chance. And they've come in, they brought in Ben Leggett, brought some youthful exuberance. Chrissy's just gone from strength to strength. Carl's been so rock solid in the tie breaks, and they are on their way to the finals for the first time since BPL 12. For a fifth time in franchise history, they'll make the finals night. And for the first time since the 8-team era of the competition. That's how long it's been between drinks. And this will be a special day for Bowls WA and the Perth Suns. So Clive Adams might actually do an Aaron Wilson celebration if they win. We know how much he loves Western Australia and how much he loves the Perth Suns. He may genuinely take his shirt off if they win.
It might just disintegrate. He might even have to take it off. Might be an involuntary shirt off.
Yep. Just flexing his muscles. Good morning to you, Clive, if you're listening. So, question about the Tasmania Tridents power play. Because they killed that end in the opening set to try and defend that too, they killed the final end. They lose their power play. If you kill your power play end, you lose it. The Melbourne Extreme have sealed the first set against the Moreton Bay Pirates. So they are one set away from possibly going back into the 5. That's an elimination final right there.
It's a nasty miss there for Taylor Mayle. To miss under that head, he sort of had a few options out for missing wide. Really would have preferred to be sort of chipping a bowl off or getting an inside edge. And leaves a little opportunity there for Teasy.
That's a big bowl. And a telling one at that. They win their second end of the match. They lead 2-0 after one in the second set. Interesting that Corey Wedlock just subbed himself off. Wasn't really feeling it at the end of the first set.
Yeah, Dylan Fisher not taking any time to find his range. Beautiful start. A little touch up. Yeah, nothing wrong with that from Chloe. Just giving it a chance to land on the bowl or touch the jack to her back one. see Dill makes no mistake with his second bowl as well. Dives in right in behind the jack.
Dylan Fisher's made a great return to the BPL for this edition. Last played at the Melbourne Roy's. Made the move to Tassie. He's really settled in, especially the last few matches. We saw him on the TV rink a couple of nights ago. He pretty much ended the Moreton Bay Pirates by himself.
Yeah, so I think we said yesterday that was potentially the shot of the tournament so far. Young Dill. Now, Dylan's trying to get the respot, and his bowl really ran very, very straight. And of course, when it runs straight and it's not turning, it's a shorter distance to the ditch, and he's just lobbed in. Otherwise, it was a near perfect end. See Teasy trying to impact here. It's a great shot.
Still to town, but he's made it better for himself, Aaron Tease has.
He's got a couple of bowls there to manipulate now. It's actually finished in a pretty good spot there from Taz. Jack's probably squirting over there off the back bowl if Teasy gets to it.
Change of hand from Aaron Tease. He's going to try and sit the Tasmania Trident bowl, come off his own.
Yeah, if he can get it past that bowl, it'd be great. But you know, if it spews out there, it'll be a stiff result.
I feel like this is a really pivotal end for the Ospreys to try and put some distance between themselves and the Tridents in this set as they look to force a tiebreak. A loss here for Tweed would spell massive danger for the rest of the tournament. They've won 4 of the 6 events that they've played at this venue, and when they have made finals at Club Pine Rivers, they have won. Well, that will do nicely. Be in for second.
Be in for shot.
Be in for shot.
Number 1, really? From our angle, it does not look like that. Tail and Mail. Told to be a good boy here. And he was the best boy. 3 to the Tridents.
I rate that from Dill.
Well, he's on Santa's nice list. That was amazing.
Wayne Turley.
Power play.
Shaking the power play placard.
So double shots on offer for Tweed. Sitting in a very precarious position right now. Some other scores at the moment. The Pioneers lead the Jets 3-1 in the second set after losing the first 10-zip. The Lions lead the Suns 4-1 in the second. That's after 2. The Suns won the first. The Extreme and the Pirates 1-0 up in the second set. Couple bowls left to come. In that second end, the Hawks 2-1 down in the second after 3 against the Saints. They won the first 11 shots to 4. The Steamers 5-2. They won the first. They lead 3-2 after 2 in the second. And Sheriff and Gary Kelly. One bowl left to come. The Pulse holding a couple. So, lots of excitement. Chloe turns her back on that one. Very rare that you see Chloe do that. Show that sort of frustration. What's Dylan Fisher got?
I think he's got a toucher.
Well, he told Taylor to be a good boy. Oh, he was a good boy as well. He rolled onto it again. Come on, Bron. Spray it a bit more. Use the whole damn thing.
I always have my 3 when I get touched, they draw a smiley face with the spray.
That's very nice.
I have to go through a few.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh,
sprays though.
Is it just for one smiley face, or you get that many touches?
Depends how.
Choose your answer wisely here, Connor.
Yeah. Depends on the day.
Great shot from Chloe. I think it still might be Dylan's toucher that hung around. I think that's still the shot, but great hit in any case. Taylor trying to get this one to turn. Dylan trying to wave it in. And there he made it. And he's pretty much the definition of Jack High at that last bolt. Yeah, it's a bit of a training drill, this one, but he's going to find the gap. One of those ones where you're almost aiming for the gap and taking the natural variation to get a corner of a bowl or piece of the jack. If somebody as accurate as Aaron Tees, you're better off just picking one of them, go for the jack or go for the half of the bowl.
Taylor's got the spot with that bowl. He nearly took out Aaron Sheriff on the way. But
Not sure how kindly Omar would have thought of that. Took him out.
He's not going to do it again, is he?
Oh. So elements of frustration here for the Ospreys so far this morning. Not enjoying themselves too much out there. Moreton Bay leading 2-0 in the second set over the Extreme. Lions leading 4-1 over the Perth Suns in the second set. The Saints 7-1 over the Hawks. The Pulse 5-3 over the Steamers in the second. The Jets were down 3-1 against the Pioneers. They must have netted a 3 on a power play because they are now leading.
Sorry. Teasy just jammed the jack. I thought he was going to actually get the back bowl in the ditch. Sorry to jump in, mate.
No, that's all right. 1, double to 2. Big bowl from Aaron Tees.
Replay gets the jack. Runs through. If he'd have middled that one, it might have even taken it into the ditch and left himself with 3, double to 6.
And he almost wanted to sub himself off. He's not enjoying himself out there at all. So, power play for the Tasmania Tridents. Short end. To really zoom this one in. So 4 shots to 3, 2 ends to go. Tasmania's score big here. They'll be looking pretty handy So, yes, what I was saying was the Pioneers were up 3-1 in the second set. That was after 3 ends. After 4, they're down 7-3 against the Jets. So Geelong have netted big on a power play. And they are looking ever so likely. The Pioneers need something special to send that to a tiebreak. They need to score a 3. If they are to keep themselves in this tournament.
The Hawks and Saints are playing their power play now. Saints holding sway at the moment.
Or their tiebreak, you mean?
Sorry, tiebreak, yep.
Wow, well that would be huge if the Hawks were to drop off. They demolished them in that first set. The Steamers, believe, have a power play, maybe not. Someone has a power play on the next rink over. They might be going to a tiebreak, the Steamers in the Pulse. Unless Aaron Sheriff can clean those 2 bowls away with his last and make 2. Right here, the Tridents on their own power play. Holding a nice 2.
This is the closest we've been to the action.
Yeah, we're looking right at it. Now 2 metres away, and Chloe Stewart splits those bowls really nicely. That's a good delivery from Chloe. Alright, so Tasmania holding 2. It's their power play. Tweed have already used theirs. If Tassie can score a big multiple here, they could end the tournament off the Ospreys. And the Moreton Bay Pirates, the Extreme couldn't be going to another tiebreak again, could they? They're down 3-0 after 3. They've lost 4 in a row. Oh, this is tailor-made for the Moreton Bay Pirates to win this in a tiebreak, isn't it? It's tailor-made. And that is tailor-made.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Well played. A little bit stiff to still be 1 down, but you'd much rather be playing this shot.
I apologise, Matt.
No.
Just jumped in,
No,
felt right, felt good.
Nailed it.
All right, the Geelong Jets end the Adelaide Pioneers competition. They're done. The Jets win. Briefly move into the 5 on 11 and 10. +2 on net sets.
It's an unfortunate result in the end for Taylor and the Tridents.
He does have last bowl, though.
He does.
He's left him almost 1.5 metres, 2 metres to draw this. Just needs a clear road. The call from Dill. Oh no.
So that hurts.
That's cruel.
Didn't play a bad end, so 5-3 is the lead to Tweed. They need to defend a 2. Corey back on. Chloe's coming off. So they have to defend a 2. That's where we're sitting at the moment. If it's a 1 to Tassie or a Tweed score, we go to a tiebreak. The Pulse and the Steamers, well, that looks like that's going to a tiebreak as well. Jeez, if the Steamers drop this, it could spell absolute disaster. And the positive for the Jets is that now they've got +2 net sets. So they were 0 in 8th position behind the Extreme. Now they've gone to +2. And even if the Extreme win but in a tiebreak, they're still below Geelong. So the Melbourne Extreme need to try and win this second set. Try and keep themselves alive. The Suns and the Lions, 7-all in the final end of the second set in the battle for first. Suns won the first. Winner of that, 100% guaranteed. I think Perth pretty much are anyway. The Jets can't catch them. The Pulse can't catch them. The Ospreys can't catch them. Well, maybe they can, the Ospreys. They're +6, +5 now. Tassie need a 2. Steamers and Pulse into a tiebreak.
Ospreys currently holding shot at the head. Tassie playing firm weight here to try and change it up.
Really wants to split. Oh, he's done well. Pretty difficult to get the shot out of that, the way that was laying. He's done a great job.
And tease. So the call is there's room to draw it with your first. 1 to go in the second set between the Pirates and Extreme, and it's a 3-1 lead to the Extreme. Alex Marshall was 3 down, got one into second. Jack couldn't chip it away. Lions and the Suns still at 7-all. Didn't quite.
Sorry, I'm just listening to Corey and Teasy talking their way through this. Nobody wants to call the shot. Teasy saying, oh, you call it. Corey saying, you pick it.
Matt, Hawks are done.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Saints have resurrected themselves quite nicely, in fairness, because they're now on equal wins with the Hawks and Pioneers, who are both out of it. But we've got a team that might be looking for a top 2 spot up next, the Pioneers and the Steamers. Especially if the Steamers lose to the Pulse, they are in mighty danger.
Yeah, that's really good from Tees.
Ellen told to trail to Jack. Nominating the kill.
Nominating the kill. I think he might be going for both the bowls now. Is he? Or no? Okay. Interesting.
Tail and Mail.
Not sure he was going to kill it with that weight.
Yeah. Goes through. And we are off to a tiebreak. It was a couple to the Ospreys. Seven shots to 3. They win the second set and keep their tournament alive. And the Melbourne Pulse are holding one against the Steamers. They were down for the majority of that contest. They have... I'm not really sure where this has come from the Melbourne Pulse. I feel like it all started when Gary Kelly just started driving and making everything.
Yep.
They've gone with this short length, this short mat, and it's paying off. My word, is it paying off?
They're almost put themselves in a position where they had to make something happen.
Tweed stuck with these short ends. Matt right back. Jack right up.
So no, we're not running the Jack in the pit. That's for sure. Saw it a couple of times on the TV rink last night. It's good fun.
I had one of my players that I coach, not been playing long, Renee, and she said, I want to show you this clip. And she showed me a clip of Dawn Heyman running the Jack in the ditch with her first bowl. She said, I want to learn how to do that. Can you teach me?
Did you teach her?
I said, yep, let's get out there and have a crack at it.
Nice.
It's great to see people taking up the game and getting excited about the BPL and wanting to replicate out on the greens.
It is wonderful, isn't it? So accessible, these athletes. So the Perth Suns and Sydney Lions are into a tie break. Another tie break. They're just everywhere now. The only match we didn't get one on this rink yesterday was the Tridents and Pioneers.
The tie-break's been a bane of existence for the Tridents this tournament.
Yep, it has. And especially after winning the first set. Because they were quite convincing. So, Gary Kelly, Aaron Sheriff, they're down to their last bowls. Gary's got 2 left, I believe. Nominating to kill Gary Kelly in a tiebreak again. That's next door. Hasn't got it. The Steamers beat the Pulse. And the Melbourne Extreme, I think they're going to a tiebreak. They are. The Moreton Bay Pirates win the second set 3-2. And this is just tailor-made for Alex Marshall. It's going to happen again, isn't it? When you get in a rut, the ruts continue. Can the Extreme overcome it? So the Steamers win. They beat the Pulse. The Ospreys looking pretty good here to keep their tournament alive. Their net sets are so strong as well.
They're at it again. Teasy and Corey. You pick it. No, you pick it. It's harder to pick than a broken nose.
Unless you got a broken finger. It's like an Allen key. All right, Aaron tees.
Well, he's done a pretty good job. The whole reason why he didn't, they were a bit both non-committal about it was because they didn't want to sit one right alongside it and just give Snapper a chance to land the bowl, trail the Jack. As it stands, he's got to pretty much cold draw it on a minimum length.
Till saying you shouldn't go anywhere near it now.
Yeah, it's a great call.
Also, Connor has done an amazing job here with the cameras.
Oh, did he do that on the run, did he?
Yep. Just panned it down for us to have a quick look.
What a man.
What a very fine man.
And his short ends aren't great for the cameras at the end of the ditch, so I needed a...
Oh, wow.
See if I can get Teasy to stop right in the way for us. No, he's not.
All right. So 5 bowls have come and gone. Dylan Fisher has to dead draw this.
Some would say needs to reel it in.
I think he's better.
Pun by you, Connor Munnings. He's tried. He hasn't quite got there. The Ospreys keep their tournament alive. They score at 2. And we might try and, Connor, I reckon let's try and get a camera maybe over to that head for the Extreme and the Pirates to see what's happening over there. And we'll bring you the ladder at the end of this contest as well. Try and bring you a little bit of extra coverage here.
Yep.
See how we go. If we can get it over there. There's a few people standing in the way, but we'll bring the camera back. Connor's, oh, look at him go. He's just moving the cameras back to perfection. Try and get this head. Cameras down, and we are ready to go. There it is. That's what we're looking at. Ooh, that's a very tough one to pick. Is that a black or a red bowl? I think it's a red bowl. Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Moreton Bay at the moment. Nick Carl about to send down his last delivery. The Melbourne Extreme, if they lose, they are well and truly done from 10-6. The Ospreys themselves will move into 4th position. So the Extreme have last bowl here.
Holding 1. Nick, I think Nick just drove the
he did.
Moreton Bay bowl out of the head.
But is it the back bowl now? Who's got the back bowl? It's hard to tell with all the speckles. I think that is... I think he's cleared it away. It's on the bank.
Yeah, I think Extreme have got the deepest bowl.
So, a Taddy special needed.
Oh, he's got a result off his own bowl.
Wow, that pretty much epitomises the Melbourne Extremes tournament.
Jack McShane, dare say, is just going to run this in.
Yep.
Here he goes. Bowl's on the way. He's got the bowl off.
And that is incredible. Less of a target for Alex Marshall to play to. The Melbourne Extreme holding 1. And at the moment, they're holding on. Can they end this torrid run of tie breaks? We'll find out. This bowl is coming into view from Alex Marshall, who's on the trot. He's urging it up. He's urging it home. He is urging it in for shot, I believe.
Yeah. Pirates do have the deepest bowl here now after Jack McShane's last running shot.
Nominating the kill, Jack McShane. He's gone big. And he's hit it away. He has killed it, and we're going again. They're going to another end. So what I reckon... I wonder if we stick around with this. I reckon let's end it there. We'll tell you what happened when we come back for our next match between the Moama Steamers and the Adelaide Pioneers. That's coming up at 11:15 in 8 minutes' time. So not too long until the final round. The Pirates and the Extreme, well, they are desperately fighting for an opportunity to enter tonight's finals. Who will win? We'll find out a little bit later on. Val Turbo, Connor Munnings and Matt Lucas signing off. We'll be back in 8 minutes.